tag along with Moira.
She doesn't want me there.
How'd you know that? The more friendly faces she sees, the better, I reckon.
I told her we're there for no matter what. You just have to say the word.
Not heard from her, though, have you?
I think it's made things worse for her. You know, me being there, making her feel guilty.
Well, you wouldn't want to miss our little star's nativity now, would you?
Moira's going to be your court reporter today, then. Or you're not allowed to tell him what's going on, contempt or whatever.
Whatever anyone says, it's not going to change my mind.
Not even when she admits to battering your brother to death.
Wind your neck in. Jimmy's just doing what he thinks is right.
It's fine. I don't have to justify myself to him.
Hey. It would mean the world to Chaz if you could just show her a bit of support.
I'll see you in court. Or not.
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet in court.
Are you Chastity Spencer?
Yeah.
Mrs. Spencer is accused of the murder of Carl Thomas King between the 17th and 18th of October 2012 under common law. Your Honour, I appear on behalf of the prosecution, and my friend, Mr. Roberts, appears on behalf of the defendant.
Mrs. Spencer, how do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honour.
The defendant will claim she acted in self-defense, fearing she was about to be raped. I will prove to you that these were in fact the actions, the premeditated actions, of a desperate woman embroiled in 3 relationships and terrified she was about to lose everything. Her victim was a man she once jilted at the altar. After pocketing the £30,000 he gave her to pay for their wedding. But her recent wedding to Daniel Spencer was an attempt to create the impression of a normal life after the web of deceit she had woven. Now, one thing stood between her and this new start, Carl King. You see, Mr. King had learned of her affair with Cameron Murray, an affair she wanted to keep secret at all costs because Cameron was engaged to Debbie, her niece. You will also hear how Mrs. Spencer slipped away from her latest wedding reception for a secret assignation. An unusual act for a new bride, and one that would end in tragedy when, with a brick, she beat Carl King to death.
Mrs. Spencer's defense, I will show you that, in fact, Carl King was obsessed with chastity, jealous and unable to move on. Full of remorse for her previous affair with Mr. Murray, she begged him not to ruin Debbie's relationship out of spite. She also feared the medical repercussions of upsetting her niece because this was no straightforward pregnancy. The child Debbie was carrying was not, in fact, Mr. Murray's.
What's she trying to say?
Finn, will you shut up?
The father of this child is Debbie's ex-partner, Andrew Sugden. And this unusual arrangement was
Unusual arrangement? She had that kid to save Sarah's life.
Sit down and keep quiet.
He's trying to make my daughter look as bad as that selfish cow, and I'm not having it.
I'll be having you taken down to the cells, and I'll clear the public gallery for the remainder of this trial.
There won't be any need to do that, because he's going now,
You
aren't
lying
you?
slag, you never cared about Debbie, or you wouldn't have wrecked her life.
You confirmed to my learned friend your considerable experience as a forensic pathologist, and you told the court that the cause of death was blunt trauma from a heavy, forceful blow to the head.
Yes, that's right.
Is it possible to tell if Chastity Spencer struck out in self-defense?
No.
So you were also unable to determine if the defendant struck out with the clear intent to kill the victim. So it must follow that it is entirely possible that the defendant is telling the truth, and that she merely intended to incapacitate Mr. King long enough to effect her escape.
Objection.
Thank you. No more questions, Your Honour.
Anything to add, Miss Fisher?
Obliged, Your Honour. Thank you. Nothing further.